Hey, how's it going? This is Melinda and welcome to my channel. Today I am very excited to do this video. I have for the longest time dreamed of having Garth Brooks music in my vinyl collection. And the vinyl that he had from the 90s was very scarce and very expensive. But this past February, Garth made a very special deal for his fans and I was able to pick up a 3-box set from him. And what makes it very unique is it is a 3 boxes. They are filled with all of the same studio albums, but they came from different countries and different musical sources. So what I decided to do is review the quality of the vinyl as well as the sound. So even if you're not a Garth Brooks fan, I think you'll find this very interesting because it does represent the different quality of the pressings as well as sound. So let me just give you a quick overview of what I will be discussing. First off, this is the Garth Brooks Legacy. All of these are called the Legacy box sets. They come very, very nice. They all look like this. You open it, the boxes, you know, the vinyl is in there, but when you put it on the bookshelf, it looks really nice. I think it's a very good presentation. This particular copy, these are the original analog vinyl, and this came from France, so they were made in France. The second one right here, this is from a digital source, remixed and remastered, and it came from the Czech Republic. And then the third one back here is what's called the limited edition box set. It came with a poster, and it also came with 180 gram vinyl, where these two came from 140 gram vinyl. This one was also from Germany. So we've got one from France, one from the Czech Republic, and one from Germany. Let me show you the studio albums. They all three have the same studio albums in them. Let me show you what they are. First off, we have No Fences by Garth Brooks. Has the song Friends in Low Places on it, which, you know, he had already was on his way and doing very well, but that song really truly put him in the stratosphere, put him, you know, head and shoulder above the rest. And it's just really one of his signature songs. So this is a really good album to have. Very excited to have it. Here is another album called The Chase. I really love it. Has a lot of great music on here. And if you guys were around in the 90s, chances are you were wearing shirts like this. Garth Brooks started a trend. And so I saw a lot of shirts like this from the 90s. And anyway, just really great music on this one. We also have the studio album called In Pieces, which had Ain't Going Down Till the Sun Comes Up. And a personal favorite of mine was Callin' Baton Rouge. So this was a very, very great album as well. And finally, the last studio album in this box set is called Fresh Horses. This one had never been released, to my knowledge, on vinyl at all, ever. Some of the others were available in other countries, and maybe a little through the United States, but not much. So anyway, this is the 4th studio album. It also came with all of the CDs, and each box has a different 3 LP live set. This particular one is from the original analog, so this one is with the Ryman live, A Night at the Ryman 3 LP set. And so anyway, I know it comes with a lot of, like I have 3 LPs that are exactly the same of No Fences and such. You know, I don't really know why. I think it's a little confusing, but Garth Brooks is the 2nd best-selling recording artist of all time, only behind the Beatles. So I think by selling all of these different, different music in one box, I think it's his push to either topple the Beatles or to cement his place at 2nd place. So, you know, either way. So in total, I have purchased 18 musical purchases from Garth Brooks. So anyway, ready to move on from that and show you the live albums. From the original analog, I've got A Night at the Ryman, which is my personal and sentimental favorite. I really like this picture. If I was in that crowd and I was on the cover, what a thrill for those people to make the cover of this album. And I've already listened to this one. It's incredible. I really, really enjoy it. So A Night at the Ryman was in the original analog box set. For the digital remasters, they put in the 3 LP live set called the Whiteout, which is another really great LP. And then for the limited edition, it came with a poster, and this poster looks exactly like this picture. I personally would have rather had a poster of Garth, but it's a poster you didn't have to put in there, and I appreciate it. I just wish it would have been Garth, so maybe I could put it up in my music room. And finally, from the limited edition also came this beautiful record, 3 LP set of his 2014 through 2018. It's called The Comeback. So anyway, very great to have 3 different live albums from these 3 different box sets. And now let me go ahead and review the music for you and tell you a little bit about the pressings. So let me get started. I'm going to pull one of these records. The first one, I'll show the record No Fences. And for this demonstration, I picked the song The Thunder Rolls because it has a lot of great special sound effects of thunder and different quiet places, loud places. So I thought this would be a very, very good song to evaluate each one of these pressings. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with the original analog box set that came from France. First off, I just want to say it was on 140-gram vinyl. The vinyl was very clean and dust-free, a flat surface, no surface noise, very, very nice. And the thunder came in very beautifully. The ending thunder was wonderful, really, really great. The guitars were very crisp and delicate, and I really appreciated it. His voice was front and center and very beautiful, deep and rich. And, as far as Garth Brooks goes, the music is always really great, but it really is his voice and storytelling that makes his music very, very special. So the voice is very important for me, personally. And I was very, very happy with what I heard from the original analog tape. And now I'll move on to what I heard from the digitally remastered. First off, when I pulled out the record, it was a flat surface, but it was dusty. I had to clean it, and it had a slight surface noise. There was just a slight hiss. Being kind of picky because I just listened to the original analog that was very quiet. So there was just a tiny slight hiss. And I'm going to be referring to some notes, so if you see me look down, that's why. I thought the thunder, first of all, I thought the thunder was less prominent, and I thought there were a few more pops. Okay, I thought the thunder was less prominent on this one, and I also did notice, though, that I thought was kind of neat on this one. I thought the bass would take some loud turns that surprised me, so I did enjoy that part of it. However, I thought his voice on here might have been a little bit, there might have been a little more air in it. It was a little less deep. For me personally, I didn't care for that as much. I really liked that deep, rich voice I heard on the first song. So for me, I thought it was a little less, and I didn't think the guitars were quite as crisp, but I thought they were good. And overall, I thought it was a very good sound, and I was overall very, very happy with the digital remaster. So then when I went on to the limited edition, 180-gram vinyl, it was from Germany. It was cool. It was very clean. The surface was flat. There wasn't any noise. I thought the thunder effects on this one were the best sounding. Really thought they did a good job on that. I really liked the guitar. It was very, very nice. But again, I thought the voice was a little more airy and maybe not quite as deep as on the original analogs. So those are my opinions for this particular song on the No Fences album. And I'm going to get started with one more. I'm going to pull out The Chase. There's a song on here. My very favorite song is called Every Now and Then. This is a very, very good album. I also really love the song That Summer. Very, very good song. Very cool. And anyway, Every Now and Then is a really great, great song. I went ahead and listened to it on the original analog at first. That particular vinyl was clean. The surface was flat. There weren't any surface noises. So very good with that. I thought the piano on this one was gorgeous, and the guitars were just absolutely amazing sounding. I thought the ending guitar really had a punch, a major punch. And I thought the separation of the instruments was excellent, just absolutely wonderful on the original analog. And of course his voice on it was really, really incredible. And it really, truly, listening to it had an emotional impact on me. The storyline of the song and the way he delivered it in that deep, beautiful voice really sold me on the song. So I really enjoyed the original analog version of it. For the digital, I put the record on, and there was no dust. It was a clean version. However, my vinyl is warped. So I was very disappointed with that. There's no excuse for a brand new recording, brand new record to be warped. There's just no excuse for it. So I was disappointed with that part. However, I did think that the piano sounded very nice when it came in. I thought the voice, however, was very canned on this one. Just didn't have that life that it had on the original analog. So I was a little disappointed with the version of the Czech Republic is where it came from, disappointed in the warp, and a little disappointed in the sound too. The vocal performance just did not grab me in the heart the way it did on the original analog. And finally, for the limited edition 180 gram vinyl, it came flat. There was no warp with that one. Clean, no surface noise, just really, really good. I thought the guitar and the piano sounded really good. I thought the separation of the instruments was well done. The ending was very beautiful and very delicate. I did think his voice sounded maybe a little bit more like the digital remastering than it does the original analog. So overall, I did think it was good, but I thought the original analog was a little better. So for these 3 box sets, if I was to choose a favorite, first off, just let me say that if I only had one of these box sets and that's all I could have, I would still be thrilled because I've been wanting the vinyl for Garth Brooks for a very long time. However, I would say that the 3rd place goes to the one that was made in the Czech Republic, partly because of the quality, and the sound just wasn't quite as good for my ears as the other 2. So the digitally remastered is in 3rd place for me. The 2nd place goes to the limited edition, which surprised me a little bit because it's on 180 gram vinyl. It came from Germany, and I've received many box sets from Germany that I really love and think are great. And this is no exception. I would be very thrilled to have it. You know, it's nothing wrong with it at all. It's just not quite as good, and mainly because of the voice of Garth Brooks. I personally like the original analog. I thought it sounded the best. So for me and my money, this is the one I would choose. So I thought that was just a really fun, a really cool way to listen and get to know my new box set. Very happy to have it. One more thing about the Garth Brooks box set is each box was numbered and you could choose the number you wanted for your box set. I personally chose my wedding anniversary, so my number is 4/1694, and each one of the boxes has that number on there, making it very special and unique. And now I want to move on to my favorite album by Led Zeppelin, and it is Led Zeppelin II. I have 3 different copies of this album. I have this as about a 2nd or 3rd press. I think it came out in 1977, and it's a US press. It's very clean and plays very well. I also have a Japanese press from around the same time, and then I also have the Robert Ludwig Hot Mix. So I thought I would go ahead and take a couple of songs, listen to all 3 of the albums, and just give my reflections of what I thought when I heard them. So I'll start off with the Led Zeppelin US press and the song Whole Lotta Love. I absolutely love that song. It's probably my favorite song by Led Zeppelin, although there's so many great songs. I thought the recording of it was absolutely a masterpiece. The way the traveling sounds go back and forth in the speakers, I just think it was just a major achievement, and I really love the song. Just think it was recorded beautifully. And on this US press, I thought it was really cool. I thought it sounded great, clean, and very enjoyable. And I also thought the drums were very good. I thought they sounded good on here. I thought the traveling sound was really great, and the guitar solo is wonderful on it. I really enjoyed it. And the drums do pound. So very, very nice. Very, very good press and very good sound of that. And then I'll move on to the Japanese press. And I thought on the Japanese press, there was a slightly crisper drums. And I hear more details on this press. I hear more details of the music. Also, I thought Robert Plant's voice is a little stronger on this one, a little more centered. I thought it was just a little bit better. Drums were harder and the guitar was sharper on this Japanese press. I thought it was, I wrote down larger than life, so I really, really enjoyed listening to it. Honestly, I don't think any of these recordings sound bad. They're all good. It's just I thought that from the US one, this one breathed a little more life into it, a little punchier. So I really liked what I heard on this Japanese pressing. It's very happy about that. And then finally, here is my Robert Ludwig hot mix, and I just thought it was louder, harder. I wrote punches you in the face because it really does. It's just really, really in your face. I thought the drums just slammed on this one, and there's a slashing guitar, just a totally different, takes you to a totally different level. Just absolutely crazy good. And also, I thought Robert Plant's voice is really done very well on this one. Very front and center, just really, really strong. So even though the other two are very good and very nice, I thought this one slayed it. So for that song, the Robert Ludwig hot mix was absolutely incredible. And then I'll move on. I did one other song. It was called Ramble On, just another great song from that album that I love. And I'll start with the US press. So I'll start with the US press, and I thought it was really, really good. Again, I wrote at the beginning of Ramble On, it's very light and pleasant. Plant's voice isn't strong. The music overpowers it a little bit, but I mean, the music's so good. So, you know, I mean, I still think it was a good sound. I also thought there was great separation in the instruments for the song Ramble On. So I was very happy with what I heard from the US press. And then I moved on to the Japanese press, and I wrote on here that the beginning was very light, very nice. The voice is more centered and stronger on this one than on the US press. I thought the bass was more pronounced on here. The guitar work is just incredible, sounds so good. And I also wrote that Plant's voice was slightly better on this one than it was on the US press. So very, very happy with what I had heard on this Japanese pressing of it. And then finally, here is again, the Robert Ludwig hot mix. It just slayed it. I don't know how else to put it. Everything was just a little bit better on this one. Everything sounded so great. So out of the 3 pressings that I have, even though I think they're all wonderful, I have to say this is the 2nd place winner, and the US press is the 3rd place winner, but the winner overall is the Robert Ludwig hot mix. I'm not surprised at all. I knew that's how it was going to turn out, but it's still fun to give them a listen and to compare and contrast. So anyway, I had a lot of fun with this video. And hopefully I'm going to be doing a video again on Saturday. I'm trying to get a contest in for Jeff at Various Vinyl. He's doing a contest and he's giving away a $50 gift card. So if you have time to enter a contest, be sure and check out Jeff at Various Vinyl. And please leave your comments, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.